need your help.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm bored.
Well, why don't you play with your men?
They're sick.
Okay. You color in your new book.
No crayons.
I just bought you crayons.
I ate them.
Turner, you're not supposed to eat your crayons.
Well, I know that now.
Okay. Has anybody seen my glasses?
What are you rushing for? You got lots of time.
Well, because they changed offices. Maybe too much traffic. There's never any parking spaces down there.
Can I come with you, Dad?
Not today, little guy.
What are these?
Oh, great. Thanks,
Why not?
Well, because Daddy has to attend an important meeting.
I'll be very quiet.
It's a big business meeting, sweetie, with lots of important people. Did you know your dad's the chairman of the board of the LL Edison Corp?
What's that?
Oh, well, that's just once every year. I put on my gray suit and I drive downtown and I sign some papers that I know nothing about.
Wow.
Except this year it should be a little different.
You know, you should be there all the time, keeping an eye on those crooks.
Well, they're not crooks.
They're corporate executives, aren't they?
So?
I rest my case.
All right. Look, I gotta get going.
See you, Dad.
Fred, what's in the bag?
Well, let's just say that it's an idea I'm going to be presenting to the other board members that I sort of accidentally came up with last night.
Good, Fred. Great.
Look, I don't want to talk about it anymore, okay? I don't want to jinx it. Well, except that Fred Edison might have discovered the answer to the world's waste disposal problems. No more garbage dumps.
Poor Harry. What'll he do? Where'll he go?
Look, that's all I'm going to say about it, all right? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Good luck, Fred.
On the next down.
Great to see you again, Frederick. I assume everyone's well?
Yes, fine.
The big one?
Well, Turner?
Still no change?
We're working on it.
Oh, excellent. Very good, then. I'm sorry, Fred. I didn't introduce you to our newest board member, Dr. Fred Edison, Mr. Rupert Totterton.
How you doing?
Anyway, I know you want to be going, Fred. I imagine you have a very busy day lined up with test tubes and beakers and...
No, my bag. Now, I have been working on something, and if you gentlemen can just give me a few minutes of your time... Well, a few minutes, I guess. Gentlemen, the future of waste disposal. Garbage. What the heck do we do with it? Garbage? What do we... Little bit. Garbage. It's a problem that it's facing all of us in these trying times. What would you do if I were to tell you that I have discovered a liquid that could dissolve any substance and, at the same time, convert it into a non-hazardous, biodegradable solution? The only exception, of course, so far is lead, hence the lead container. All right, let me show you how it works. Styrofoam. Well, up until now, it's been non-biodegradable and just filling up the world's garbage sites, right? Well, gentlemen, now, I want you just to watch this. Gone.
What happened? It's too dark. You can't see anything, Fred.
What? Oh, all right, I saw it. Okay, all right. Step. I want you to just step back because, boy, this stuff is brutal. Okay, now what I'm gonna. I can't. What did I do?
Whoa! What the heck is that?
Old stuff, Fred.
I know.
Jeez, you could have killed someone, Fred.
What are you nuts up there?
I know it's pretty volatile, but I was thinking, now if I could just come up with an alternative.
No, we're not interested.
Excuse me?
I said we're not interested.
Who died and made him boss?
Come on.
No. Who is he?
We'll talk about it later.
No, let him stay. Perhaps it's time the good doctor and I became acquainted.
What's going on here?
It's an interesting idea, the elimination of dump sites. Mind you, there's money in garbage. Big money. In fact, there was a time when the Edison Corporation might have jumped at an idea like that. Helping humanity. Preserving the environment. How much nobler can you get? But that was then, Doctor, and this is now. Things have changed. You might say the Edison Corporation has had a change of policy.
So what's your point, Mac?
The point! All right, I'll be succinct. From now on, this corporation's in the business of making money.
Here, here.
Big money. We're talking major profits here. It's time to start feathering our own little nests. In other words, we're going to make ourselves rich, and in some cases, richer.
Wait a minute, hold on. Just a second, Mr. Whatever your name is. Maybe you didn't catch my name. It's Edison. Fred Edison. And my grandfather didn't start this company just to make huge profits. Huh? Well, look. Let me just tell you, before we start talking about changing policy, I want you to know what the arrangement is, all right? And that is, the Edisons still have controlling interest. What's so funny?
That so-called controlling interest is ancient history, Doctor. Ancient history. The LL Edison Corporation that you used to know is no longer.
They sent you. Todderton is the majority stockholder.
Yeah, but I can't make heads or tails of this thing.
Well, it's all here in black and white. As of 6 months ago, the Edisons owned 37% of the corporation. The board owned 21%, and that left 42% floating around on your common market. Todderton scooped up that 42%. Still, he needs over 50 to have control.
Yeah, well, tell him that.
That's my point, Freddie. He must have those board members in his pocket like so many nickels and dimes.
Yeah, so how come they suddenly start backing him over me?
Oh, I'm sure he sold them some big story on how everybody's going to get rich. I can just see those greedy little eyes widening.
You know, you're right. That's all I've been talking about, is making more money.
And that brings me to step number 1. Somebody's got to go down there and tell those bozos there's more to life than the almighty peso.
Yeah, because we're not living in shacks or anything. We're making some money.
Exactly.
The Edison Corporation stands for quality and integrity.
There you go.
Someone's got to go down there and tell them to hang on to their ideals, their commitment to what's right.
Which brings me to step number 2. Call your father.
No! I mean, no.
You've got to, Freddie. They won't buy you. When it comes to high finance, you got to be hard-hitting.
Well, I can be fairly hard-hitting.
I don't know how to say this politely. You've got several positive personality traits. Hard-hitting is not on the list.
So, how's everything going?
She wants me to call my father.
Well, Fred, that might be something to think about.
I can fight my own battles.
It's his company.
Well, it's the Edison Company, and I was left in charge.
But let's face it, Fred, you know, this isn't exactly your area of expertise.
Casey, don't you see? This is my big test. I got to be able to prove that no matter what, I can carry on the Edison tradition.
You're the proverbial fish out of water, Freddie. A guy like Totterton will eat you alive.
I don't care. I'm not going to call my father. I got to handle this myself.
What are you doing here?
I'm chairman of the board. I think I have a right to be here.
Well, gentlemen, let's call this meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is acquisition of 30% ownership in Nanodyne Industries. All those opposed? In favor? Carried.
Start negotiations.
Oh, wait a minute. Just hold on a second. Nanodyne Industries? They dumped 200,000 tons of toxic waste into Lake Erie.
Nobody's perfect.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Just a second now. Hold on. Now, Lyle, you've been with this company for 40 years. You know we can't let the Edison Corporation get involved with people like that. That's against everything we stand for.
Fred, this is our one chance to make money. They're talking about a recession.
I know, but we've been through tough times before. We got through it.
But it was different then, Fred. Your father was in charge. No offense.
Next.
Let's do some business, boys.
I tried to stop her.
Back off. How we doing, Freddie?
Who is this woman?
Sign here.
Madam, identify yourself.
Idella Orca, your new chairperson of the board. This is the proxy, Fred. You just signed all your shares over to me. Morning, Lyle.
Morning, Idella.
I've compiled a little information on everybody's new best buddy over here, Rupert Totterton.
This woman has no right to be here.
Apparently, he's what you call your junk bonder. Owns a bit of everything, but doesn't have two beans to rub together. It's what's known as leveraging. They start with a smidgen, and they take that smidgen, and they go borrow against it. Now, boys, hang on to your handle grips, because this is where it gets complicated. They take that borrowed cash, and they start cozying up to some venture capitalists. Next thing you know, they take over and sell the company before you can say, where's my parking spot? But the reality is, they started with nothing, and they still got nothing.
Very perceptive, madam. I applaud your keen business acumen. But need I remind you, gentlemen, business is chance. Huh? That's the game. And the prize? Riches, wealth, beyond your wildest imagination. Every luxury you ever dreamed of. The finest of hotels, room service, 24 hours, caviar, champagne. Hey, boy, run me a bath. Now make it 2 baths. One lukewarm and one slightly tepid. A life brimming with a succulent orgy of visceral pleasure.
Yeah, but you gotta sleep at night. You gotta live with your conscience. Well, look now. Lyle, Ted, Roger, Ted, the other Ted. You some of you guys were here when my grandfather started this place, and I think you know what he wanted it to be. He wanted it to be a place where a young inventor could come off the street and, or anybody for that matter, just walk in and say, I've got an idea that maybe might just make this tired old world just a little bit better place to live in. And you know, I don't suppose that he ever thought he'd make much money. He just did what I guess he did what he felt he had to do.
Are you quite finished?
No, I'm not finished. And to prevent this, if I had to stand here and keep talking and talking and talking for the next 6 months, I will. And I'll never run out of things to say. I'll just talk and talk because I can't let you do it. This man, if you listen to him, you're not going to be able to live with yourself. I said that concern on his face as he scratched his chin. And so Heidi says to her grandfather, she says, Grandfather, I must go up on the mountain.
He's just wasting time.
He has the floor, and he doesn't have to give it up until he stops talking.
So the grandfather said to her, Heidi, don't go. And so Heidi said to her grandfather, Grandfather, I must. Well, I'm not let. I don't care how many of you are against me. I'm not going to let you fall victim to this man's greed because
Oh, Freddie! Freddie, what happened to you? Freddie!
It's really sounding like Jimmy Stewart for a while there.
Right. He was right all along.
Gentlemen, please, let's move on.
I move we vote again on this Nanodyne Industries proposal.
second.
Gentlemen, please.
All those opposed?
Fools! You don't know what you're doing. You're throwing away a tremendous opportunity here.
You weren't ready! Entrance. See, your father was more or less on the ropes, and I had to go in and save him.
That'd be the guy from the Taiwan on. All right, look. Let me tell the end part.
You were out cold.
I remember parts of it.
All right. So, anyway, in I go, you see, dressed to kill. Well, I wore all these shoulder pads because those business types, they like shoulder pads. They like high fashion.
Never mind the fashion tips. Just tell us what happened.
Father!
Hello, Fred.
I thought you were in France.
We just got back.
Oh,
I was talking to Lyle Monroe.
you were?
He told me what happened.
Oh, well, I was going to call you.
You thought you could handle it yourself.
Well, yeah.
I'm proud of you, son. You did well.
Father, you should have been there. I really handled it.
Of course you did. You're an Edison. I just came over to say congratulations.
Well, thanks. What?
I have an apology. When you were growing up, I always knew that I was just too busy to tell you what a fine son I think you are.
Oh, that's okay.
We need to hug more.
Taiwan on.
Taiwan. Oh, yeah, we're sorry. Father, I don't have any cash.
That's okay. There you go.
Thanks. Father, we were planning a celebration. Would you care to join us?
Sorry. Gotta run. I was just kidding. It was a joke. You have any Bobo balls?
Yes, double order here.
There's more off-kilter comedy where that came from. Maniac Mansion will return next Sunday night at 6:30, 5:30 Central, right here on the Family Channel. Now, Hank is kidnapped while on an undercover case, and his chance of survival is far away. Rin Tin Tin, Canine Cop, is next.